name is Maggie and...
Hello.
Oh.
I'm here to take over today.
What? Where's Charlie?
She's on vacation.
Oh my god. So, who are you?
My name is Carolina and I'm here to talk about anime and feminism.
Alright, so welcome Caro to the Feminist Tea Party. You are a longtime fan of ours and also a friend, and you read something that inspired you to send it over to the Feminist Tea Party for us to discuss it.
A Spanish movie titled Magical Girls. I saw it, I read the article, and immediately I thought of you guys, so I sent it over just to see what you guys thought about it.
The movie actually is inspired by anime and the influence that anime has over just Western culture.
Especially influenced by the Magical Girls category, where it's female superheroes being the protagonists of the series rather than male.
What is anime?
Anime is basically Japanese animation, or in simpler terms, cartoons. Cater to children, young adults, even to adults. Everybody in Japan kind of watches anime or manga, which is the
Literary form of it.
the book format of the anime.
Their genres are not like mystery or drama. Their categories are divided by audience, like targeted audience. So I have a few here that I know. Shoujo is the one that we're going to talk about today, but then there's also Shouyen or Shonen. Shonen. And that's like geared towards young boys.
Right, correct.
The one that we're going to talk about today is Shoujo, and that's geared towards young girls. And in that category, there is one called Magical Girl, and that's the one that we're going to really hone in today.
All right.
The show primarily associated with this category is Sailormoon. Sailormoon came out in early 1990s, and it was portrayed by these five young girls who have different powers, and they represent different planets. So, did you watch Sailor Moon growing up?
Yes, I did. I watched it when I was younger and when I was living in Costa Rica, so I watched it in Spanish. I think like I related more with Amy from Sailor Moon just because...
You look like her! With your
well,
short
I don't
hair.
know if I look like her, but I just related more with her just because personality-wise, we're very similar, shy, a little bit introverted. Sailor Mars, which is the one that you relate to, she's like the more aggressive one, right? She's stubborn, hot-headed.
And somebody like Sailor Moon, which is
who's clumsy, bad in school, but she's like the nice, very nice. She's a crybaby.
They're not graceful young women who are like these beautiful goddess type things, but she's really human. She has like bad grades in school, like you said, she's clumsy, but she's still like considered to be a strong character.
Right. It's not just that, because like the whole series shows them growing up.
Right. One of the things that I really like about this magical girl genre, femininity is not lost, and it is still seen as something powerful. I mean, they still talk about boys and they still, talk about school and stuff like that, but I love the fact that their girliness, or the fact that they love pink, the fact that they, have like this little compact, and they, they transform into this little tiny girl school kind of dresses. It's not lost, and I love that because I'm like that, and then that's considered, sometimes people might say that that's not feminist, that you're playing into the stereotypical role of what a girl should be. Oh, I like pink, I like shiny things, but they do it with power. So you spoke about how these characters mature and these other things, and one of the things I liked about it was the fact that for me it was the first time I ever saw lesbian characters.
When it comes to the US, they cut out those parts that relates to lesbianism, intersectionality,
any of those things that they don't like, they will put it as they call them cousins. But if I'm not mistaken, it's Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune, right?
Right.
That also happened in here. I love Cardcaptor Sakura. The song that we were just bopping to was the theme song to it. Tomoyo and Sakura, she has like a crush on her.
Right.
And also she has a crush on her, and then also Yukito has a little bit of a relationship or a crush on Sakura's brother. His name is
Toya.
Yeah. But that's not shown here. You think like, oh, Japanese culture, it might be like so restricted, but then they found this way to express that, and also the fact that it's in a magical girl genre, which is geared towards middle school and high school girls, which is great because then that's when they start exploring their sexuality and all that stuff. And then here, America, which is freedom, it has to be dubbed. And I mean, it has to be not only dubbed, but it has to be concealed. Not only are like the ladies from Clamp, who are the ones who created Sailormoon, and also Cardcaptor Sakura, which is my favorite, are in the business of portraying young girls with power, but also Miyazaki.
The Japanese director, right? And he created a lot of the series like House Moving Castle, Kiki's Delivery Service, Spirited Away, and they all portrayed female protagonists, and they're all like it's like for me, the movies show a coming of age, and also the female protagonist searching for like her identity and going through a lot of struggles to get to that stage.
Right. And I know that two big ones have really strong like feminist characteristics is Princess Mononoke and Naussicaa Valley of the Wind. And they're both really great, so if you guys are looking for if you guys like animation and you're looking for some like anti-Disney princessy kind of thing, you should go and check those out. The other thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that all of these anime and manga have a huge impact on Japanese culture and our culture. Like, one of the interesting things that I see is that the manga and the anime, they are created by Japanese people, but they don't look Japanese.
Japanese have this tendency to kind of be, I don't want to use the word obsessed because that's too much, but they kind of like Western things. They want to look a little bit more Western. That's why you see the animation, the characters have like either blonde hair, big blue eyes, and why the portrayal of beauty in Asian countries tends to be a little extreme.
They have also influenced us. It's also us. So one thing is when I was in high school, I actually was part of an anime club. I was, yes, and it was really cool because then I learned about otaku. Yeah. And what is an otaku?
So otaku is the Japanese word to describe somebody who is into anime. So I guess the English translation would kind of be like a nerd or a geek, but it doesn't have that negative connotation that it does in English.
And then I see that here we have anime conventions. We have people that go all out cosplaying or costume playing, which is when they dress up. And you were also telling me about Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra.
Right.
They were also.
Yeah, when it came out, it definitely does look like a Japanese anime, but it's not. It's an American version of an anime.
Have you ever watched any of the any American shows that may remind you of these?
Totally Spies, right?
Yeah, so I love Totally Spies. That's another one where I was reading. I'm gonna put all these links down below, but I was reading this blog.
Right.
This girl was like, how Totally Spies made me a feminist. become spies.
Right.
That's their part-time job. And the gears that they get to spy on people are like a compact, a little, any girly thing that you might think is girly, like makeup,
Right.
shoes, anything like that, they use as weapons, which I thought was really cool. Speaking of American counterparts, so we talked about, totally spies. I also like Powerpuff Girls, and they just came out with new episodes. Did you like Powerpuff Girls growing up?
I liked it. My nickname in high school was actually Bubbles. Truthfully, I identify more with Buttercup just because I'm more of like moody. She's like the mean one.
I'm a total Blossom, but I have my moments where I'm Buttercup. But I'm a total Blossom, and anybody who knows me
I would see you more as Blossom.
Yes, like type A, let's do this. Do what I say. To get some inspiration for this, we recently went to Forbidden Planet by 14th Street, and we met with two really great young women there who helped us pick out some things to talk about here.
Well, I really like this one.
Ooh.
It's titled Wandering Sun by Shimura Takako. It's the story of, it's a coming of age story of these two people. One is a boy and then the other one is a girl, and basically they each want to be the opposite genders. And it's their struggle of finding themselves.
I heard that there was a book here for like really young children. It was called something like I Am George, or George I Am, something about being George. And it had to do with transgender child. And it was, in a lot of places it was banned, but this is not.
I think like they don't, if you're reading about it or you're watching about it, it's more accepted than when you talk about it. Because there are things that, I have Japanese friends and sometimes I talk to them and they tell me that we don't have this type of conversations because it's not the norm.
They show it in their media, but they don't talk about it in their personal life.
Right, it's not something that they talk about.
And then we do the opposite. We just talk,
right.
But we never portray it in any or we're restricting our art form. I like that, so there's like intersectionality here in this manga. The ladies over there at Forbidden Planet also mentioned Agents of the Realm by Mildred Lewis. Which is only online, and I'm gonna put the link down below. But this one, if you're she was like, if you're intersectional, you should read this. I'm like, yes, I am. So this one have portrayed, I want to say 5 or 6 young women in college, and it's also a coming of age story. It was heavily influenced by magical girl genre. Like the author was like super into it when she was younger, and now she has this series. But the ladies in the series are college age, so they're a little bit older, and they're going through all of this, and they find out that they are meant to protect the world. And the leader of the group, she happens to be a woman of color, and there's a few more characters of color in the series. I want to talk about one more before we leave. So it's called Red River, and it's about this young Japanese girl who falls into a well, and she gets transported into like Mesopotamia kind of times. She becomes a concubine for a king, and then she's like, no, I can. She starts like planning like strategies, and there's an epic scene where she rides a horse, and people are just like blown away by this. And this girl who is seen as like this, like you might think of her like this subservient character, like submissive, and maybe starts off as like what everybody want a woman to be, turns to like becomes equal to a king. She's like refuses, and obviously she comes from modern times, so she has more of like a feminist attitude towards her. So I really recommend it. So thank you again for coming. I mean, I don't know where Charlie is.
Well, I didn't kill her, or did I? So you'll see her soon, don't worry.
Yes, thank you everybody for watching. My name is Maggie.
I'm Carolina.
Please like, subscribe, comment, and please keep recommending us topics to do. Carol just recommended anime, but feel free to recommend more. So,
cheers.